Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Grow Through It podcast. My name is Julia, and I'm so excited about today's topic. I'm about to start something most people think is extreme. And honestly, I think that's why more people should try something hard. I am starting 75 Hard on March 2nd. I know some people have negative feelings towards this program, but I want you to hear me out. I'm not telling you to do the program, but I'm talking about how I felt last time I did it, why doing hard things can actually create safety and structure when life is chaotic, and why I decided to do it again. I wanted to do this program again for several reasons. I first did it about 2 years ago, and I felt my absolute best. I felt so strong, so healthy. My mind was clear. I was happier, and it was just like one of my favorite times. I think about it a lot. Not only did I see really great mental results, the physical results were also really amazing. A few months after the program ended, I got into my car accident and I couldn't work out for about a year. So I lost a lot of that physical progress, and mentally, I just wasn't doing well. So now that my injuries are healed, I wanted to do something challenging but structured, since I'm also going through a very uncertain time right now. And of course, I want to feel how I felt the first time. I want to feel mentally strong, and I want to look my best too. So let's dive into what 75 Hard actually is. Some people call it a challenge, but I prefer to call it a program. I do this because this isn't some challenge you do once and forget about the whole thing after. The purpose is to create discipline and prove to yourself that you can accomplish hard things. Almost all of the things in this program are things I do daily anyways. It just helps you be more disciplined in them. Then you can continue these habits in a more sustainable way. There is actually a second part of this program when you're done 75 Hard, but it's not something I want to do at this point. The 75 Hard consists of 75 days doing certain tasks each day. The first one is exercising for 45 minutes twice a day. One has to be outside. You get to choose a meal plan or way of eating with no cheat meals and no alcohol. You read 10 pages of a personal development book daily. You drink 1 gallon of water daily, and you take a progress photo each day. So it sounds a little intense if you're not used to this, and when I first learned about it, I was intimidated too. I thought 2 45-minute workouts, one outside, no way I can do that. But I did do it, and honestly, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I live in Canada where the weather is pretty unpredictable. I did this program starting in April and had all sorts of weather. Sometimes I'd be outside in a t-shirt, sometimes it would be snowing, and many times it was raining or hailing. But when I did my walk outside in the rain and hail, I felt so good. I was watching someone sprint to their car, covering their heads, and no one else in sight. Meanwhile, I was walking outside for 45 minutes getting pelted by hail. I felt so strong and dedicated. I wasn't miserable outside, I was actually smiling. I even did this program during competition season at work. So I would be traveling for competitions, and I'd still get all my stuff in. I'd wake up early and get both my workouts, or at least one of them, done before the competition, and I'd do the second one after. I also meal prepped and brought my own food. I've seen a lot of people on TikTok in the comment section of other people's 75 Hard journey talking about how it's only possible for influencers who don't have a full-time job. But that's just not true. I work full-time, I travel for competitions, I deal with major stress, and I maintain my relationship and friendships. You can do it if you wanted to, but people often make excuses because they don't think they can do it. But you absolutely can if you prioritize it. I've even been following someone's journey on TikTok who is a mom with a baby. She's doing 75 Hard just fine. Doing hard things like this or training for something specific can actually create safety. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this program again. As you may know, I've been going through a very hard and stressful time. But I actually think this program is going to help me. Because when you have structure and discipline, it can help you feel grounded when life feels chaotic. Doing something like this, where there are specific rules to follow each day, reduces decision fatigue. You don't have to think about what to do, you just do it. When there are clear rules, there's less mental noise. I'm using discipline as a nervous system regulation, not to punish myself. When I talked about people making excuses before, there are some times when rest is needed. But oftentimes, excuses are actually just avoidance. If you're not in a place where you can do something like this and life is just too much, I completely understand. If you don't want to do it and you're too overwhelmed with life, don't do it. That's okay. But be honest with yourself. When you're about to start something challenging, whether it is 75 hard, or maybe it's a new routine or goal, your mind becomes very convincing. Usually your brain won't say, don't do this. It'll say, maybe next week would be better. You should wait until life is less busy. You should start when you feel more motivated. It's hard because those thoughts can seem like they're coming from a good place and you're being responsible. But often it's just avoidance disguised as logic. Your brain naturally resists hard things. I've talked about this a few times before. Hard things require effort, uncertainty, and discomfort. And your brain is wired to protect you from those things. It prefers you to stay where you are and be comfortable than to change and grow because it's unfamiliar. So avoidance is a protection strategy and completely normal. But again, be honest with yourself. Are you delaying starting something because you need more time? Or tell yourself you'll start soon? The right time never arrives. There will always be things that come up, and the excuses will keep piling up. I made the decision to start March 2nd, not because I'm delaying a start date, but because I wanted time to prepare and make sure my back was okay enough to start. But I made the decision to start on an exact date, and I've been preparing for it. I didn't say, I'll start soon or maybe later. Now, like I said, there is a difference between excuses and genuinely needing rest. Self-compassion is important, but it doesn't mean waiting until it's easy or when you feel ready. It's not about avoiding discomfort. Self-compassion is starting something whether you feel ready or not, and letting it be hard and showing up anyways. You don't build confidence before you start something hard. That won't come. You build confidence because you started. Just going for it and trying it is what creates the evidence that you can do hard things, and that will translate into so many other areas of your life. Every time you follow through on something you said, self-trust grows. But every time you make excuses and break your promise to yourself, your confidence dips and self-doubt creeps in. I used 75 hard to create trust with myself. I showed myself I am capable of doing something like that. And it's helped me try other new things in life and pushed myself more in other areas. This program also requires time, and this is the biggest excuse I hear from people. They say, there is no way I'd have time for that. But we make time for what's important, and making time for ourselves is an act of self-love. Don't wait for life to calm down. It never will. Like I said, I did the program for the first time during busy competition season. I'd be working 8 to 12-hour days sometimes, and I still made time for it. I'd be traveling, and I'd make time for it. We all have different responsibility and capacity levels, but most of us have more control over our time than we think. And this program will prove that to you. Maybe you have to wake up an hour earlier, or if you have kids, take them on your outdoor walk with you. You might be surprised how much time you can find when something really matters to you. Saying things like, I'll start when things are easier, keeps us stuck. Life happens all the time. There will never be a full 75 days where you are not busy and something doesn't come up. That's actually the point of the program. It's supposed to be hard. That's what builds mental toughness. If you feel guilty for taking something like this on, or maybe it's another goal you want to achieve, you don't need to justify your decision to anyone else. You are choosing yourself, which will make you a better person. The people who truly love and care about you will support you no matter what. I want to talk about what 75 Hard teaches you. Number 1, it creates an identity shift. Motivation fades, but identity is always there. I went from saying, I'm trying to be disciplined, and I'd fail over and over again, to actually doing the program and now saying, I'm someone who does hard things. It made me want to do harder things and challenge myself. This isn't about an end goal, it's about who you become. Number 2, boundaries. I had to set quite a few boundaries last time. That looked like saying no to plans that didn't fit into my schedule, saying no to drinks, prioritizing myself to get things done. Number 3, it taught me to plan ahead. I planned out all my meals for the week because I was tracking what I ate. I planned out all my workouts. I planned out my daily schedule to figure out when is best for me to do my 2 workouts. It taught me how to do this, and that has translated into my life now. I still do those things, and it's helped keep me healthy. Number 4, it taught me how to be uncomfortable without quitting. Some days were harder than others. Some days I really wanted a dessert, or to drink with my friends, or to skip a workout. It made me uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, when I didn't quit, I felt so strong. And number 5, it showed me what my body is truly capable of. I pushed myself in my workouts, in my runs, and mentally more than I ever had before. I was trying harder hikes, running farther, lifting heavier. And this didn't come just because I was getting physically stronger, although I was. It came from me being mentally stronger. I started to believe in myself more and know that I'm capable of way more than I give myself credit for. Now I want to talk about still being gentle while doing something hard. Just because I have to do 2 45-minute workouts doesn't mean I'm going to be sprinting and lifting heavy weights every workout. Some days it'll look like a walk outside and a yoga class. Some days it'll be a walk outside and my physio exercises. That is what I like about this program. It doesn't specify what exactly you have to do for your workouts or what you have to eat. You get to decide and you can be flexible about it. I also don't become this rigid, intense person while doing it. I become a lot more disciplined, but I'm still soft and gentle. I'm not sharing this because I think everyone should do 75 Hard. I'm sharing this because I think everyone deserves to know what they're capable of. I also wanted to shed some light on what this program really is, because I've been hearing a lot of negativity when I mention that I'm doing it again. Not negativity towards me, but people saying they could never do it. I also wanted to show you what doing hard things can do for you and hopefully inspire you to do something hard. I want you to define your version of hard. Ask yourself, what is one hard thing you've been avoiding? What is one promise you will keep to yourself for 30 days? And what is one boundary you'll stop negotiating? Write these answers down in a journal and know that you are 100% capable of doing the hard thing. If you are interested in doing 75 Hard and want to do it alongside with me, message me on Instagram and we can do it together. I will also be posting my journey on Instagram, so you can follow along there if you want to see me do it. You can find me at growthroughit.pod. That is it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, I would be so grateful if you would rate, review, follow, or subscribe, and share it with someone you think would benefit from it. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram, or you can use the link in the show notes to anonymously ask questions or suggest future topic ideas. Thank you so much for listening, and remember that you are worthy. See you next time.